Hi, I'm Melissa, and today I will be explaining the basics of drawing documentations, and we will be doing that with the project browser. So here you should also have the same model. This is from the files that were provided to you. Here I have the master. I'm just gonna show you real quick. So if you go to Drawing Documentation Basic, there you should have two files, and there's an exercise, and you have master, built-in 1 and 2. And right now I just opened master, the master one. Okay, and here to the left is the BIM project browser along with the structure browser. Now if you don't see this, you can just right click on the panel and you can then select here is the structure one, and here is the BIM project browser. So you just can select those two. You should then be able to see them. Now, before we go and create a project, we can see here that one building has sections already generated. And this is, you can see that also from the, give me a second. From the quad, you can see this is a building 1. And this is building 2. Now, building 2 has no sections yet. How about we go ahead and open this drawing? You can either do it from the quad, model on the modify, this little icon here, and that will open your drawing. Or you can also do it from the attachment panel. Once again, if you don't have it, you just right click, then panels, and look for attachments. That will be the panel you want. So here you have building 1 and building 2, and that's this one and this one. So if we're gonna go ahead and select building 2 because that's the one that doesn't have the sections yet. I'm gonna right click and then click open. Okay, I'm gonna hide this panel for a second. If you go here to the left to the structure browser, we see that we have certain things already classified for us, but we don't have the sections. The easiest way is if you could just go here to your ribbon, on the home ribbon. I'm just going to zoom in here, home, and then select BIM file. Now you should be able to see the sections. If you don't see them, you just hide your structure browser and bring it back. And now, as you can see, these are all the sections created for us. You can also just browse through them, and that's not a problem. Okay, now that we have those sections and elevations done for us, we can just close our drawing, save it, yes. Now, here on my drawing, it hasn't refreshed yet. It's not a problem. You can just go here to your attachment panel, and then click on building 2, then right click and click on reload. It takes just a few seconds, and here we go. I have my sections. Okay, now that we have generated these elevations, we can go ahead and start with our project browser. So if we go here to the left to that little house icon, you should also be prompted with this dialog box. So if you just left click, create project. Now here we have a new dialog box. We have some tabs and some info, so I will walk you through it. Here on the project tab, you have the path where your model is going to be, where this project will be created. And it recognizes here in the bottom, you see project folder. These are drawings found on that same location. If we go to the next tab, this is the sheet set. Here you can give a different name to your sheet, to the set of your sheets. And then models. Here you have right now it's only selecting the master DWG. How about we select the built-in 2? Now, if you go to the library, here you have a project library. And here below you have the 2 models. So we have the master one and the built-in 2. Now, it's saying right now no library, but what it is that they have their library is inside the drawing, so they're not sharing the same library, but we do want them to share the library. Therefore, we will go ahead and click Share Project Library. And now it should change to have the same name on both of them. So here built-in 2 and the master. Then now they're sharing the same library. This extension bsyslib. This is a database file that contains the information from your plies and materials and so on and so forth. So let's click OK. Now it brings us to the sheet setup. It's the same thing here. I'm going to walk you through it. In the very top is showing where it's going to be saved as. So it's the same path from the project setup. And template. Here you would be able to, let's say you don't want to use the default sheet set, then you can just click here on the 3 dots for to browse wherever you have templates for your layouts. And here where it says layout, you can select the different sheet sizes. So we have the standard formats A0, A1, 2, 3, and 4. And now here you can see you have sections. So these are all the sections that we have so far for the built-in 2. So you can see they're all from the model built-in 2. Here are, sorry, I'm just going to start from left to right. So we can check which ones we want. And then we have the name of our sections, the model, which model this belongs to, the type of section. So we have only one plan section, and we have elevations. The other ones are the elevations, the unit. And this is also important, but then here are the scales and current destination. Here are the sheets. And as you can see, we have 1 and 2. They have different names, and the reason for that is because anything that is not. So if you go here real quick, if the type of section, so we only have one type of plan, so that's an A100. If you were to have another plan section, it will also try to put it all together here in one sheet. And the elevations, we have all 4 elevations. So if I were to click here on the A300, you can see it has already put them together for you. And then if you go here to the configurations, here you will be able to change the prefixes or the number if you want to. They're all, like, you can just type on them, but I'm just going to keep them as it is. And the margins also, if you want to do certain special values to those margins, you are also able to do them. But for now, we're just going to keep it as it is, and then I'm going to go ahead and click Create Sheets. Okay, I'm just gonna. So right now, we have here on the project browser, it has created a few sections. Here we have sections, we have schedules, and sheets and models. So as you can see, these are the 2 models we have on this project that we just created with the project browser. Sections, these are the sections right now in the project, and once again, these are all just from built-in 2. I'm going to skip schedules because we haven't created any yet, and sheets. So here's all the sheets. Yeah, right now I'm just gonna uncheck this because normally you will see an icon, like a little orange circle. And what that means is that it hasn't been updated yet, but because I had the, sorry, I'm going to zoom in case that you're a bit lost. But here in this menu, I had this enabled, and you probably don't have it. So if you don't have it, you will see little icons here, little orange icons. So if you were to right click on that and if you click update, it will take a few seconds and then the icon is going to be gone, and all it means is that then it's up to date. So if I hover my mouse, well, right now it doesn't say anything because it's already updated. Yeah, for the next step I will leave it off so you can see what I mean. Okay, I'm going to minimize this for a second. So we have, like I say, only this model, the master and the built-in 2. Let's say after you're working further with this project, you would like to add another model to it. That is possible if you just click here in the menu from the project setup and click on project setup. Then you get the same dialog box that you had at the very beginning. And if you just go to the tab with models, you can just select, let's select now built-in 1 and we will see what happened. Okay, here we go. So now we have built-in 1 and built-in 2 in our model. If you were to now open the sections, and now you can see also we have more sections. And how about if you go to the sheets now? I haven't added the sheets yet. So how about we go now and add the sheets to it by going sheet setup. Same thing, on top is just where your sheet sets are being saved, the template and the layout. But here now on this dialog box, where you can see here at the very last column under the current destinations, some of them have something in it and some of them don't. The reason for that is those who have something is because already have a sheet. There's a sheet already created for them, and you can also verify that here. So built-in 2, of course, we already did built-in 2, and built-in 1s, they don't have a destination yet because we're doing that right now. Now, just to show a few things, let's say you want to. So right now we have A101, and that's for the plan section from building 1 and ground floor. Let's say I were to change this scale to 5. And if I go now and view this sheet, here we go. Now, notice how it's red, highlighted in red. And the reason for that is because it doesn't fit in your sheet. So we just go back and change this back to 2, and you can see, there you go, this back to where it was. Here's all the elevation, and 400 is for the other type of sections. So I'm just going to go ahead and the configuration, I'm going to leave them as it is. All I'm going to do is create sheets. And if I were to come back here, here we go. So this was what I was talking about, these little icons that you see. And you see as I hover, it lets me know these are out of date. So if I were to just click, left click, then right click and say to update, there you go, it disappears, and then it means that I can go ahead and display, check my, my section plans. Now, like I say, you can either do manually, you can select one by one and do the same step, just right click and click update, or you can come back here to your menu and say that you want it on the background updating. And what will you see is the following. You see how it's thinking, it goes pretty fast. Okay. Maybe just for now, I'm just gonna turn it back. I'm gonna turn it back off just for the heck of this exercise. And let's take a look at our sheet, at our layout. So you can either left click twice, or you can just right click and say display your view. And here we go. Here is what was generated for us. You can see on the hatching that it is a cut section. And the tags and the room spaces are all in there. Now, just a quick remark: if by any chance your section was not created on the sheets, maybe it's because let's just go back to the master for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and open this. It doesn't matter which model you open, building 1 or building 2. It's just to show you certain properties from the drawing. Okay, so here we are. Again, it doesn't matter which building you open, it's just to show you. Let's say I select any of this section. I'm gonna select this one right now. And if I go to my properties, when you're using the project browser, you want this project section to be on. If it's not on, it's not gonna be generated on your sheet set. Okay, so if you don't see it, maybe that's the reason why, okay? So I'm just now gonna close it, I'm not gonna save it because I actually did not do anything to it. I'm gonna hide my panel for a second, and let's talk about a little bit of this layout, because of course if you go to this, you can see that there are furniture in it, and you might be wondering how come the furniture is not on my plan. Well, the reason to that is because of the layers. If you go to the layers here, we have some spatial layers under the name BRX2D. If you go here to the layers panel, one more time, if you cannot find it, if it's not on your panels, you can just right click panels, and there it is. Okay, so how about we type here on the search bar BR, they already come up. As you can see, they're off. So if I turn them on, now you have your furniture. Now this BRX2D, what they represent is the objects, the furniture in 2D. And the reason for that is because if we were to cut through our furniture and keep it as a solid, it's gonna cut just like it cuts to through the walls, and we don't want to see that. We just want to have a quick representation of our furniture. Therefore, on your components, you have 2D objects to them as well. If I go here to my master for a second, maybe I should go here. Just gonna show you real quick what I mean by that. I'm gonna hide this wall. Here, when I open this component, you see it is by default already turned off. But this is just a 2D representation that comes together with the components. And when these sheets are generated, they're off, but if you turn them on, then you can see the representation in 2D. Okay? How about changing the 3D model? So here's my building 2. How about we hover through this section, and we're gonna clip, so we have a view from the inside of our model. And how about we delete this couch here, and let's see, how about we flip one of these doors as well. It's in the other direction. Okay. And how about we also change the composition of our, let's see, where are my compositions? Here's my compositions. Now if you don't see it, same approach, right click, panels, and BIM compositions. Now how about we go and type here in the compositions how about we type cavity wall brick. Okay, and then we drag it to the back wall. Click enter. We can, how about we do that for all the other walls, such as if you're following along with the document that was provided to you, it suggests to do it on all the walls. So we will do the same thing here as well. This is just one, and how about we put it here as well. Okay, enter, and here we go. So we did some minor changes, and now if we click here, close, save, yes. Now here it's just letting me know that I can reload, so I'm just going to do that because my attachment has changed, and voila, it has been reloaded. You can see here also in my command line that it has been reloaded. I'm gonna hide this panel for a second, and let's open the project browser. And because I changed my model, my 3D model, it also recognizes that my sheets are out of date. So if I were to open this one once again, you can see that because of this this little icon, the orange little ball. Sorry, you cannot see it. Also, the reason I see it is because I did not update it. I have not enabled the background update. If you had this enabled, then it already did it for you in the background. Okay. The updates shouldn't take that long. Here we go, and here we are. Now you see some color, and that's due to the compositions we just applied to it. And here we go, it is out of the way. On the exercise it said to try to insert a chair. We can try that as well if you want. I'm just gonna close this, yes. Once again, let's open this building 2. And if we go to our components, go back, I'm gonna go furniture element. How about we just add this, we just one here. By the way, on the all I did is type R on my command line, then enter, and they ask to rotate, and I just gave the input of 90 degrees. And once I hit enter, it's just giving me again the prompt to place it somewhere. So here it is, this place. Now I'm gonna close it, yes. I'm gonna hide this panel for a second. One more time, as you can see, I have to update, otherwise it's not gonna give me the last version. It's ready, display view, and here we go. You can see the changes to it. So if there's something you want to change in your on this layout, you have to do it from the model and not from the sheets that have been created. This is indeed a drawing, but if we were to go in the model space, this is just a block, and it's a block that it has been synchronized with your building. So once again, best to just leave this as it is, and any editing that you're going to be doing, do it on your master. Okay, so that's that. How about elevation hatches? Yes, so if we were to look here in building 2, I'm just gonna update this. Actually, I'm gonna, just for now, I'm gonna go ahead and select this so all of them get updated at once. Just a few seconds. So these are all in one sheet, so actually all I have to do is click on this, right click and say to open and see them. Okay, so what I want to show you right now is that there are no hatches on these elevations, and the reason for that is because on the property of this BIM section it is turned off. How can we change that? I will show you now. If you go to a master, again, don't forget that this layout that you're seeing is for the building 2, so therefore I am going to open the building 2. Okay, I'm gonna unclip this by double clicking. You can also just do it here with this, the clip display. And if I were to, because I want to select them all at once, I'm gonna go here to the structure browser, go to sections and select them all. Now I'm gonna go to my properties panel. And here you can see generate elevation fill. If you were to turn this on, this controls the hatches that you will see. So if you put it on, now I'm gonna close this. Yes. Again, it recognized that it is out of date, so I'm gonna reload. Just a few seconds. I'm gonna hide this properties panel and I'm gonna go to my project browser. Here you see, once again, they're all in orange, but it is also in the background updating, so I don't have to do anything. I just have to have a little patience. So here, if I want to open this sheet, now you can see the hatches for it that are applied to this. There you go. Okay, so far we've done almost everything with the project browser. The only thing we haven't done yet is the schedule. So if you were to, I'm just gonna go back to this view. Right now they are all stacked together. If I were to expand the schedule, it's blank, but right there in the blank space, you can right click on it and it's going to give you the option to add schedule. And I will select it, and now you get a dialog box to create the schedule. Okay, here you can base this data extraction based already on an existing file, and we're going to do that. So here I'm gonna give the name doors, sorry. And here on the base on existing data extraction definition, I'm gonna click here to look for that file, the 16 file. They are already by default from Brics itself, from BricsCAD. And let's see, let's select the doors, then open. Now you can see that we have applied a file path to it. The name, already did the name to doors. And now I'm gonna go ahead and choose where's my model. Right now it's just on my desktop. And it's gonna be building 2. Okay, once I selected this, now I'm gonna select where do I want this to be saved as. How about we just put it here along with the sheets? I'm going to type S100. I'm going to click next. So once we're on this page, you can choose to extract entities also from blocks or XREFs. We're gonna turn off the blocks. It's not necessary for this right now. And here on the page 3, here are all the different options that you can select from to extract. But because of the selection that we did already, the pre-selection ones, we don't really have to do anything else. But right now, for this exercise, we're just gonna go ahead and maybe turn off the fire rating, fire exit. And we can just click finish. And here we go. You can see it here on the schedule. If you click here, sorry, let's see. I need to first update, of course. Now display schedule. And there they are. Okay, that's about it for the basis of generating documentation. If there's any questions, please feel free to send us an email.